Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Joy, our topic for today panel discussion is all about women empowerment. For generations, women have been oppressed. There's so much of sufferings that women have been undergoing. And this generation, in their way, want to fight out. So, do you feel it is only by fighting the male, or do you feel that there are better ways to heal ourselves and emerge? Also, one school of thought is that consciousness has no male and female. Consciousness is consciousness. So, what is your take on this topic, Joy? Please share a few words.
Okay, thank you. I do agree that consciousness, the law of gender, is not the final or the original blueprint. We are just merely expressing ourselves in these particular animal bodies that we have. But every single one of us, we have within us the feminine and the masculine coexisting. It is the original blueprint of creation. The Holy Mother, Holy Father is within every single one of us. So if we understand this, then we can understand that the issues we are facing as a civilizations are issues of consciousness, of the feminine aspect being suppressed at a consciousness level. And then we experience this in the world, for it is always first within, and then it will come out as experiences that we're in. So if we come into women empowerment or gender equality conversations as you did this, or we need to fix this in the physical, we're going to take a really long time, because what is outside is just merely a symptom of issues happening at a conscious level. So we need to be regenerating consciousness, regenerating the DNA that's holding these unhealthy distortions that we currently operate from, right? So I believe that healing has to happen at that DNA level. We need to be regenerating the DNA. We need to be reclaiming back the soul, the fragments of ourselves that got lost somewhere throughout all of time. And that's an inner work. And that's work also that we bring to the spirits, to those who are also traveling with us, supporting us from a higher realm. Otherwise, if we try to do this from the mind, we will be stuck in the mind itself. If we come to women empowerment in the ways that in recent times we've also come to it, we are also just fighting the same wound with the same exact consciousness that created it. So it's a loop. We're trapped in a loop, and to get out, we have to leave the entire experience as it's happening and return to consciousness, return to the blueprint. That's what I believe.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
So beautifully said that you can't create a new life with your old consciousness. You have to evolve. You have to heal from within. So thank you. Well said. Enolia, yes. I have one question for you. We're all waiting for your book. But in your book, have you written something about women empowerment? So what does women empowerment mean to you? Joy says it's just the scratch. There is so much more deeper inside. So what is your take on it? Please share.
So when I wrote my book, I was working in a corporate field. And so I had the materialistic pieces that I need to take care of my family, myself, everything that I need. And what I wrote about was the fact that I was still longing. I was longing because there was an emptiness inside. That emptiness inside could not be filled by money. It could not be filled by materialism. It had to be filled with the richness of coming into balance with nature, with source, and understanding who I am and loving myself in its totality. in my totality. I learned from my first grandmother, Grandmother Isabel Mawasaki, who was willing to teach me that leadership can be compassionate. It doesn't have to be confrontational. That nature is everything. That we need to ask permission before we take. We do not need to overfill. That who I am at the core of my being is a multi-level tier of love. Learning how to love self, learning how to love what is around me, learning how to love and respect my fellow human being. And that when I accepted every part of myself in my totality, the weak, the strengths, the neutral aspects of it, there wouldn't be anything that anyone could judge me on or say to me that I couldn't transcend, because I had a love of self. And so what I'm saying about saying that is that the empowerment came that projections, judgments, somebody trying to shame me could no longer have an impact, because I loved myself, because I loved every aspect of myself. So therefore, it didn't matter where it was coming from. I could see it for what it was. I am not perfect being. All I can do is draw from source and be the best version of the being that I understand to be. And in doing so, touch the hearts of others in a positive manner. And to me, that was how I learned empowerment and walking in that way.
Very beautiful. Very nice. So women empowerment begins from self-love. So beautifully put. Thank you so much. Accepting yourself, loving yourself can heal all the wounds and therefore make you empowered. Thank you so much, Enolia. Very well said. I think the only person who's not spoken is Dr. Nat. What is your take on women empowerment, Doctor?
Getting the balance. As my talk was saying, united we stand, divided we fall. Empowerment, Enolia put it beautifully. Self-love. Love your neighbor as yourself. You can only love the way what you have is what you give. It's getting the balance in ourselves. As Grandma said, the consciousness, masculine, feminine, the two need to be balanced. And getting that balance is what makes one understand who one is. And the moment you get to know who you are and you love yourself, then you can then love the other. So that is what empowerment, I see empowerment to be. It's not fighting. If what is happening is wanting what has been suppressed, we're trying to bring it up. Yes, it needs to come up, but if you are making it come up and you're using the same method or strategy that put you that side down, if you are using the same method as you try to come up, then it means the other side is also going to be afraid, and then it's going to be a conflict. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. I am a mother's child, as I always say, and what my mom has taught me made me self-worth. I understand who I am, and I believe that, and it's what I have that I try to give. Love your neighbor as yourself. You can only give what you have, but you sometimes also have to receive. If you are not able to receive, how do you give? You can only give what you have, and you only have what you receive. You receive by digging deep, get inside, connect with Mother Nature. We connect with our spirit being. And in that consciousness, we become who we are, getting to know who we are, balancing it, getting the balance. That is very, very important. And that is how we get empowered. And it's not getting empowered one side getting empowered in a balanced way. That is how I see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nat. Holistic empowerment with the nature, asking this question, who am I? Very beautiful. Thank you so much. So I would request Rosalia to give her views on women empowerment. Her journey has been like that. So Rosalia, over to you. Your thoughts on women empowerment, what it means to you?
Okay. Woman empowerment means to me the peace of the world, the equality, the serious love, the respect. Woman empowerment means for me the harmony and the truth, recognition of the story. Woman empowerment, it's a liberation for me as a woman, but for the men too, I think, because the mother hold into her womb the man and the woman. A mother never do a differentiation. You have the balance with the woman and the man. This is the mother matrilinearity. So for me, the empowerment of the woman, it's the heels of the man, a heels for the woman too. This is empowerment of the woman. It's like a good society, an ancient society. A lot of people talk about Egypt and Kama, we said. This time was the time of the woman empowerment. And we know that Egypt is a big, big civilization who bring us a lot of knowledge till this time. We're asking for this knowledge. So for me, woman empowerment is the ancient wisdom.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So now I hand it over to Dr. Yugandhar sir to take it up.
Okay. So, as Rosiana, our speakers, wonderful speakers, Rosiana Goma,
Thank you.
Jaya Mogami, thank you very much for joining us and presenting your excellent inputs. ENOLIA FOTI, beautiful. Your inputs and your presentation, your expression, the wisdom. Namaste. Thank you very much. So, the World United advocates woman-centered families. In Roman civilization, woman was the head of the family, not man. Woman should always be the head of the family. Man protects woman. The protector, custodian. He is a custodian of nature. Feminine consciousness is close to nature. So that's why in India, woman is called Prakriti, that means nature. We call Mother Earth, right? Mother Earth means feminine already. The world itself is feminine, cares, nourishes. The woman should not only nourish the physical food, but with spiritual food. Spiritual feeding is very, very important. Apart from physical feeding, pranic feeding and all, wisdom feeding, very important. Wisdom feeds are very important. The wisdom nuggets on a daily basis are very much essential. Women can offer that, provided she gets awakened. Man and woman is not about equality. They can never be equal. They're always unequal. because their properties are different. They're already unique. Uniqueness model cannot be compared with any other uniqueness model. They're incomparable. All the equality and all nonsense. A woman doesn't compete. A woman doesn't need to put a lot of efforts to become spiritual, because spirituality is a natural property for her. It is only understanding, awakening what is already existing. So the World United advocates women empowerment, and one of the very important themes of the World United events, the World Parliament, we have especially included spirituality, women empowerment. We also have initiated councils for women empowerment. So already I shared this with ENOLIA FOTI. You please take your inner call about what you would like to do, become a council member of the World United. Same Jai Mogami, I would like to share a link along with Rosiana Goma and also Dr. Nat Quansah. We'll share a link about what is this council membership all about. Please go through that and take inner call. And there's a lot of things to do together in the coming future. You already told united we stand. Yes, united alone we stand. Unitedness alone is our strength. Unitedness doesn't make you devoid of your uniqueness. It is not like that. What is collaboration between few people, 2 people or 3 people or little more, is what is called unity consciousness among large numbers. After getting awakened, what else you do? You try to bring oneness without. When oneness within is experienced, what you do? Next, you try to create that oneness without, outside, to the best extent possible, because we cannot force any united consciousness outside. Unity consciousness is inner phenomena. But yet, we create, we struggle, we push forward the idea of unity consciousness to the best extent outside as well, to raise its importance, to make people understand its importance, come away from all types of differences and dissimilarities whatsoever. Be resonant with the vision. People say, who am I? When you say, who am I? Many people answer, I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm an Indian, or African, or Australian. Different descriptions are there. This question, who am I, has to be replaced by, what am I? I am consciousness, basically. Who is not important question for me? What is important question for me? I am the unified whole of the bits and pieces of consciousness within. The fractured and fragmented consciousness of the mundane world has to be united. All the perceptions, all the perspectives, all that we hear from the 3-dimensional world has to be annihilated forever. We have to make this cerebral bowl always clean and empty. As long as we can keep the cerebral bowl clean and empty, we cannot do anything outside. So the World United advocates all these ideas and invites each one of you to be a part of this togetherness, to be a part of this unity consciousness movement that has been initiated through this World Parliament. For us, it is not at all an event. It is not about inviting some speakers and having their speeches to be heard to the world. It is not that. That is not our aim and objective. There are so many people to do that. For us, it is much beyond. It is not just about having the speeches heard. It is about the real unity consciousness, the expression of real unity consciousness that we all have come forward. That is the only aim, the only objective, the only vision of this activity. That is awakening the unconditional unity consciousness and nothing else. We don't have any other agenda. We don't have any other intention. We don't have any other interest. This is our only interest, nothing else. Thank you very much for joining us. I request the grandmother to speak a few words. The wisdom nuggets of you are very much required to the world, and it is a great honor to always have you here, the board. Unmute, please. Grandmother, unmute, please.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
When we think of consciousness and we know that we're moving toward unity and resolving borders and stopping the many of the suppressive parts of what our world has, not just for women, but for men. I was raised for 20 years in a matriarchal society. There was nothing but peace and harmony. There was no conflict between man and woman, each knowing the roles and each knowing how to respect one another. The biggest word we have here when we talk about actually empowering the feminine is for woman to find self-respect, for us to begin to respect the gifts that we have, to not any longer seek approval and feel that we have to measure and prove ourselves in some system that grades us all in some kind of a box or an identity that we're all supposed to move to. It's the same in the fashion world. You have to be a particular look or you have to wear a particular thing to fit in. But women can't do that. Each one of us have a piece of the heart that has to be expressed. And when we are coming to unity and the world is moving toward a greater consciousness of spirituality, you cannot possibly have spirituality and consciousness happening without woman emerging from her suppressive environment and world. That's self-respect. That's admiring yourself for what you have, to finding beauty in yourself, not by someone else's description, but to actually begin to like and love oneself. You've said it in many different beautiful ways. I am so impressed. I've sat kind of sad and listening to you to know that I hope the sadness only because I wish the whole world was listening to you right now. To know that in Africa and in other countries where women have actually gone through great suppression and actually had many, many limitations. To know that we're not aggressively going at it, that we are not attacking men, that we're not fault finding with men, but that we are understanding and that we can stand strong in our individuality. When we come to why we're moving across the face of the earth with WPS and bringing unity and spirituality and a global message that we are one. We cannot do that without the sisters, the mothers, the daughters. Cannot do that without you. I hope with all my heart that every woman that has spoke on this panel today definitely stays with us and gets involved with our council. We need to reach out and find that sacred spirit that's still feeling the victim, still feeling the accountability that she must have to the world of mankind, as though she is nothing, as though she never existed. Your voice gives life. Your message is the heart. So it's so powerful to hear you move forward and to share all the beautiful things. Each one of you bring in an element different than the other, but all the same, right? Where it's all the same. I have a question to all of you, and I would like any one of you to answer it. When we see ourselves emerging and woman has a major role in society, that we can hold political positions, that we can maintain our businesses, that we can find more equality next to our men. How do you see the world? How do you see the end result of that? What will you think that would change? I'd like any one of you who feel you have the answer to answer.
I'm going to take a shot at it. So I can only attest from my own experience, and I'm going to draw from my own experience, which is that when you have a calling in your heart, you cannot ignore it.
No.
So what you have to do is to reflect, and then dare to embark on that journey.
Yes.
If you would have told me where I was 10 years ago to where I am now, I would have never believed you.
Mm.
I have this saying, dream a beautiful dream or you will be dreamt. I had to learn to envision what it was I was being called to do in its success so that life would become a walk to that success. My gift that Spirit gave me was to be able to orate or to speak, to inspire and to motivate. And I didn't know what form or framework that would take place in. So I just dared to just do it in any venue, in any possibility, or in any way that I could. And then if that seed is planted, or if I motivated or inspired one person, then I did my job. So I dare to just hold the vision of success and what I've been called to do and allow life to just be that walk through it and step into the unknown and dare to move through any story to ensure that that vision gets fulfilled.
Wonderful.
And that's the best way that I could see fulfilling it.
That's wonderful. I know in myself and my many, many years and my work, which has been my literally the love of my life, is my service. And I know that when woman finds her own center, and when we stand very equal in spirituality and consciousness with men, we will have harmony. Our children will grow up without conflict. We will no longer find biases and prejudices because of differences. I was taught as a young girl that my grandmother would take me to the beautiful valleys in our homeland in North Carolina. And when we would come out of the mountains into the valleys, I would see all these beautiful flowers, and you'd see all the different creatures, and you'd see the butterflies and the hawk, and you would see all of nature interacting in this valley, in this beautiful place. And she would always point out to me that this is the world, that when I left under her wing and began to explore the world on my own, that I would find the world like that valley, like that pasture, that there would be beautiful colors, there would be beautiful peoples, there would be all sorts of contrasts and differences, and each one of them needed in order to make the beauty of the valley. And I know that we're moving toward that. And I know that as woman comes into her own, we will see a joy and a music that this world has been longing for a very long time. I thank you all for your time and your efforts here. And it's been beautiful watching. So thank you very much. Are we going to get a song now from Rose?
Yeah. Oh.
Can you give us a song?
Okay, me? Okay. But first of all, I didn't understand your question. The question you asked to everyone.
All right.
You hear me?
Could you repeat your question?
Please.
The question was, can she give us a song? Mom, you had said, Mom, that you said
The
she could
question
sing.
before, the question before that you
Oh,
were
the question
asking
before?
about the vision.
Okay,
Yeah.
the vision is, and what I asked about was, where do you see our world? How do you see it different once we have consciously moved to evolving to where woman stands equal and actually shows her empowerment? Where do we see the bottom line of that? Where are we going with
Comment quelle est la vision du monde? Comment sera le monde une fois que nous aurons justement fait ce travail de l'évolution, de la conscience et par rapport à nous, les femmes, lorsque nous aurons atteint ce degré d'évolution, comment est-ce qu'on voit, quelle est la vision du monde, comment sera ce monde?
Thank you, Ben.
Okay. I prefer in French and she can make the traduction.
Okay.
Alors en fait, pour moi, on aura un monde de paix, on va arriver à un monde de paix.
Alors ainsi, nous arriverons à... this way we will reach a world of peace.
Mais je tiens à signaler que ce monde a déjà existé en fait. Que ce monde
But I would like to point that this world has existed already before.
Yes.
Parce qu'en Afrique, il y a toujours eu des reines.
For example, in Africa, we always had queens.
Et la mère au Congo et en Afrique est représentée comme la création, comme Dieu en fait. La mère représente.
And the mother has always been represented, like in Congo, particularly Africa at large, has always been represented as God.
Creation. Et c'est pour ça que c'est important de revenir sur l'existence de textes anciens, parce que c'est des choses qui...
Parle plus fort, s'il te plaît.
C'est pour ça que c'est important de revenir sur des données anciennes, parce que c'est une situation qui a déjà existé. Disons qu'en termes, d'un point de vue chronologique, cette situation a duré plus de temps que la situation patriarcale dans laquelle on est actuellement.
She's saying that it's important, as this status has already existed, it's important that we include that and that we go back to our ancestries, because ancestrally it has existed. And actually the frame of time where it has existed with the matriarchal, reign, maybe we could say like that, is actually longer than the period of time where the patriarchal has been existed.
Yes.
Et que c'était pas forcément le matriarcal, mais matrilinéarité, parce qu'en fait la matrilinéarité correspond au linéage. C'est pas une question de clan, c'est une question d'ADN direct. Donc
so it's more precisely not the matriarchal aspect, but the matrilinearity, because the matriarchal aspect is more like clanic, while the matrilinearity is about the lineage, it's in the DNA.
Donc naturellement, il n'y avait pas de problème entre il n'y avait pas, la matrilinéarité n'est pas du féminisme, il n'y avait pas ce côté où l'homme se sentait inférieur, où la femme se sentait inférieure. Chacun avait un rôle bien distinct qui réside d'ailleurs dans la nature, parce que l'image de la société africaine est un reflet de l'organisation naturelle.
So it was not like, there was no competition between man and woman or gender. It was very natural, and it was actually a reflection of how the nature is organizing. That is why it was so flowing and very natural.
Yes.
Yes. This is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now your song. Et maintenant la chanson.
So we are waiting for your beautiful song tune.
Okay, just some seconds, not the big song. Okay. So Time is calling the freedom for all Africans, Mama Nation. He's coming. Time is calling the freedom for all you man spirit of the nature. He is coming. So I sing for love, and I sing for the respect for all nations. It is the time. Yes, thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you,
Merci.
Rosiana.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Beautiful. That's why I
Merci.
wanted her to sing. So soulful and
Mataji, I have one request. You have been
yes,
appearing for the past, from Australia to till Africa event, but you have never sung the signature tune. We are just playing. The image of the
yes,
flame is different from real flame, right?
yes,
You have
but
been
it's
playing the
fine.
image of the flame, but the real flame from your voice directly, originally, is requested.
As I said, excuse me, I'm going to be very straightforward because this song, the signature tune, I composed it and, I produced it as well. So it's very orchestrated and I feel more comfortable when it's orchestrated than to sing it like that.
Okay.
That is why when I sing live with the guitar, I always, I sing another song.
All right. Okay.
But, okay. Let's do an African song instead. And this one is also telling about, the symbol of the dove and the peace. Wasabukavu bilande chikalalo uniwa samba samba wasabukavu bilande wena penye tela bula baba benga tela bula baba benga tela penye tela bula baba benga tela bula baba benga tela bula baba benga tela bula baba benga chikalalo uniwa samba samba Wasabukalu bilande chikalalwe yuni wasamba samba Wasabukalu bilande dena kanye dela bulo baba benga dena kanye dela bulo baba benga dela bulo baba benga dela bulo baba tuve mamwenda dekelani weyo mamwenda wakabu dekelani dala panche de que la yo muenda cabo de que la ni da la tanse muenda wachab na 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 muenda wachab Mwenda wachab, mwenda wachab, mwenda wachab, na 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 mwenda. Na mwenda wachab, 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 na mwenda wachab. We are one, two, three, one. We are one, so let's be united. Shambhala, shambhala, shambhala.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you very much. So with this, we'll close this session of day 2 of World Parliament on Spirituality, Africa chapter. And tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern African time, we are going to have different type of speakers on different themes: spirituality, arts and culture, spirituality, education. These are going to be the main themes tomorrow. We are going to have wonderful speakers, and so many speakers are going to present on arts, spirituality, arts. The African way of expression is dance your way to wisdom, sing your way to wisdom, play your way to wisdom. It's part of the upbringing in the African culture. So many people are come forward to showcase this pristine dimension, very unique to Africa, the arts and spirituality. And
Yes.
spiritual education is also going to be important. We have got beautiful, extraordinary presenters for tomorrow. Please stay tuned. We'll join tomorrow. Thank you very much. If you have anything to say, anyone to say anything to convey, final message, please convey. Grandmother, you have anything to say, Mataji?
I want to thank everybody. And again, it's been a joy working with you, Dr. Yugandhar, and the deep appreciation I have for all the work that you put in and all the love that you actually move with to make these things happen. We're all very grateful. And for Mom, I am so happy to see the music. I love music. There isn't a day that goes by that I can't rely on music to lift my spirit, and we have had a wonderful day. So let us continue and bring that right into tomorrow. Just keep singing, Mom. We'll make it.
Yeah, and sing with me. Actually, I think that one of the beautiful way, and because we're children, yes, we're like children, and I really believe that when we cultivate the children within, the child within, you know, there's just joy. Right. And the children, we have this tremendous ability to just be so powerful in our creative mode. We think, and the world is, isn't it so? We imagine, we're just playful. We don't have time to do other things than playing, actually. And so the joy, and we sing one song. That's how I see it, the peace, and we sing joyfully, we rejoice. Yes, we're just, you know, that's how I am very much.